Bhagwan Swaminarayan liked to bring devotees together for festivals. He used to organize festivals on a large scale so that devotees and sadhus could meet and progress in their spirituality by learning from each other and expressing their devotion. He once organized a devotional dance during the colorful Holi festival in Sarangpur. Sant Kabir's famous poem was being sung. Jahan Sadguru Khele Vasan. Everyone was participating happily in the festivities. Bhagwan Swaminarayan pointed towards Gunatitanand Swami and said, "The true Guru that Kabir praises here is this one, Gunatitanand Swami. Such a true sadhu is my true and eternal home." His words made devotees realize the greatness of Gunatitanand Swami. Bhagwan Swaminarayan and his sadhus were always traveling and visiting devotees in their villages. They would go from village to village and home to home to preach the Swaminarayan way of life. Day or night, heat and dust, hunger or thirst, inconveniences and obstacles would not deter them from reaching out to people and sharing with them Bhagwan Swaminarayan's vision of morally and spiritually fulfilling lives. It was because of such superhuman efforts by them that life became better and society headed towards higher morality. Bhagwan Swaminarayan always rode on his mare Manaki when traveling. Bhagwan Swaminarayan's travels had helped communicate the highest levels of dharma, gyan, vairagya and bhakti to many. Among the thousands impressed with this was Dosa Bhai of Badhiya village. Bhagwan Swaminarayan wrote him a letter and he instantly left his business, his home and family and took initiation as a sadhu. Witnessing such surprising incidents always surprised people and made them appreciate the glory of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. The king of Bhavnagar met one such devotee. Bhagwan Swaminarayan was leading a religious procession through the streets of Bhavnagar. All the townspeople had gathered to see it. King Vajay Singh Ji was watching the procession from a window in his palace. He noticed the jacket that Bhagwan Swaminarayan was wearing. The jacket was sewn from soft velvet with intricate golden embroidery and delicately made patterns. The king was fascinated by the jacket. He wanted to know who had made that jacket and found that it was made by the tailor Atmaram. The king summoned Atmaram to the palace and asked him to make a similar jacket for him. He would be paid a handsome amount for it. But Atmaram honestly replied, "How can I make a similar jacket, sir, when I do not have the same feelings of love and devotion for you?" King Vajay Singh Ji realized that though he occupied the throne of his kingdom, Bhagwan Swaminarayan ruled its hearts. The impact of the Swaminarayan faith was such that anyone coming into its contact would be positively influenced. Muluk Hachar of Khambala once travelled with Bhagwan Swaminarayan and his devotees from Gadpur to Vardal. He was not a devotee and was addicted to opium and smoking a hookah. Just watching others leading such pure lives unaffected by addictions, he was inspired to throw away his hookah and opium and to lead a better life after that trip. Such betterment is possible even without any preaching, just by inspiration. And to lead a life free of addictions and vices has been the effort of Swaminarayan devotees. To free himself from the love of his followers is difficult, even for God. Bhagwan Swaminarayan was getting ready to leave from Garpur to go to Vardal. He said Jai Swaminarayan to everyone as per the custom and pulled Manki's reins to leave. But much to his wonderment, Manki would not budge. Why was the usually responsive Manki so stubborn today? Manki knew of Jivuba and Laduba's love for Bhagwan Swaminarayan and sensed that they did not want him to leave. Bhagwan Swaminarayan climbed off Manki and asked for permission from the two sisters. Only after they agreed did Manki get ready to leave. This incident happened at the western gate of Dada Khachar's home in Garpur. The spiritual powers of the Ashtanga Yogi Gopalanand Swami were well known. In his childhood, the Murti from Shyamla Ji would appear to play with him. He was believed to be capable of changing the pace of the stars if he so wished. He was sometimes worshipped as God because of these powers. Once, a devotee astrologer incorrectly bet his life that the next solar eclipse would not be visible from this part of the earth. But most other astrologers agreed that it would be visible. He soon realized his error and requested Gopalanand Swami to save his life. Gopalanand Swami said, "The eclipse is supposed to take place, but since you are a devotee of Bhagwan Swaminarayan and your life is at stake, it will not be visible." Gopalanand Swami was true to his word and saved his life, but also cautioned the devotee from making such a rash decision in future. There were many such capable and accomplished Paramhansas who could be worshipped as God. They recognized the supremacy of Bhagwan Swaminarayan and lived their lives strictly as per his wishes. The fame of Swaminarayan sadhus singing had spread far and wide. One evening, Gwalior State's reputed singers came to hear their devotional songs. Honoring their wish, Bhagwan Swaminarayan asked his sadhus to sing in Bhairavi Rag. This astonished the Gwalior singers, as Bhairavi is a morning rag, not suitable for any other time. But no sooner had Premanand Swami begun singing as per God's wish, that the whole setting seemed to be transformed. The evening sun seemed to be a rising one in this courtyard, so much so that cocks began crowing as if it was morning. Birds began to chirp, and the atmosphere appeared to have totally changed to a morning one. The visiting singers were astonished and could not help admiring such skill. They had heard many singers who could sing as per the surroundings, but this was their first meeting with those who could change their surroundings to suit the rag. Bhagwan Swaminarayan built 6 mandirs in his lifetime, leaving them as part of his legacy to keep strengthening the roots of faith. He began by building the mandir in Ahmedabad, where he performed the Murti installation rituals on the 24th of February 1822. The ritual Murti installation in Bhuj was done on the 15th of May 1823. The third temple to be built was in Vadatal, where the Murtis were installed on 3rd of November 1824. Fourth was Dholera, where these rituals were completed on the 19th of May 1826. Next was Junagadh, the fifth temple, where the Murtis were installed 1st of May 1828. And the sixth temple was in Gadpur or Gadara, where the Murtis were ritually installed 20th of October 1828. The three-spire temple is a speciality of the Swaminarayan faith. Bhagwan Swaminarayan explained that he had built the temples to continue a pure spiritual tradition. He predicted that temples would help many people progress on the path to spirituality and salvation. Bhagwan Swaminarayan was personally involved in all aspects of building the temples, from the beginning of its construction up until its installation and opening. On the hill in Gadara, where the BAPS Swaminarayan Mandir now stands, Bhagwan Swaminarayan had wished to build a temple. He personally came here to get the land measured. He also met with state officials there and gave guidance to devotees on how the temple was to be built. A temple could not be built at that location in Bhagwan Swaminarayan's time. But Shastri Ji Maharaj fulfilled Bhagwan Swaminarayan's wish and erected a three-spired marble temple here. This beautiful temple stands on the banks of the river Khela. Since the chosen land on the hill was not available, Dada Khachar of Gadara offered his own land's southern portion to build a temple. Soon, temple construction began there in full earnest. Stones were quarried and brought here. Devotees gathered and began to contribute in every way they could. Some would grind the stones, others would carry them. The skilled ones would carve them. Many would carry mud and other materials. And in this way, the temple began to take shape. With the devotees, Bhagwan Swaminarayan too would serve by carrying the stones on his head. Seeing God participating with them, the devotees would be inspired to put in even more effort. Swaminarayan temples are an embodiment of service and dedication. Temples were one aspect of Bhagwan Swaminarayan's legacy. Scriptures was another. He wrote scriptures and also got them written by his sadhus. He inspired many of his learned sadhus to write scriptures. 12th of February 1826 was the day that he completed writing the Shikshapatri. In 212 short Sanskrit shlokas, this scripture gives a guidance and code of conduct for living a morally and spiritually fulfilling life. This is where he wrote the Shikshapatri, the Hari Mandap in Vardal. Vachanamrit is considered the main scripture of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya. It is a compilation of 273 spiritual discourses given by Bhagwan Swaminarayan. The locations for these talks included Gadada village, at Akshar Ordi, Lakshmiwadi, in Dada Khachar's home, beneath the neem tree at Dada's home, Karyani village, Vasta Khachar's home, Sarangpur village, Jiva Khachar's home, Panchala village, Jeena Bhai's home, Loya village, Sura Khachar's home, Ahmedabad city, Nar Narayan temple, Vardal village, Lakshmi Narayan temple, and Jetalpur's palace. Bhagwan Swaminarayan's Paramhansas have set down his divine and philosophical talks with authenticity to form this unique scripture. Explaining his philosophy in simple words, Bhagwan Swaminarayan has said that to release one's soul from the cycle of birth and death, one needs to realize the soul as divine and worship God with devotion in all His glory. In the 39th Vachanamrit of Gadada, Part 3, he says, I deliver these discourses to you not from any imagination of my mind, nor to display any sort of aptitude. I have experienced all that I have spoken about. The Vachanamrit offers a path for a highly spiritual life and salvation for all aspirants. Bhagwan Swaminarayan's work impressed the British administrators and Christian missionaries as well. One such missionary was Bishop Reginald Heber, a representative of the Church of England. He sent a personal invitation for Bhagwan Swaminarayan to meet him. 26th of March 1825, Bhagwan Swaminarayan and Bishop Heber met in Nadiad and discussed their respective religions. Bishop Heber wrote about this meeting in his daily diary that people have been uplifted by Bhagwan Swaminarayan's preaching, coupled with his likable personality. His morality was said to be far better than any which could be learned from the Shastras. He preached a great degree of purity. On seeing the Paramhansas of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, Bishop Heber wished he too could have such dedicated priests. A temple has been built at the place of this historic meeting. "28th of February 1830, British Governor Sir John Malcolm met with Bhagwan Swaminarayan at the governor's residence in Rajkot. He had written thrice to invite Bhagwan Swaminarayan here. Bhagwan Swaminarayan gifted him a handwritten copy of the Shikshapatri during this meeting. This is the governor's house where they met in Rajkot. Bhagwan Swaminarayan had called his ideal devotee, Gunatitanand Swami, near him in Gadada's Akshar Ordi. he expressed his wish to now hand over the reins of the faith to Gunatitanand Swami. God could never live without his abode, and the thought of being separated, even in this temporary form, was an emotional moment for them. Promising that he would always remain present on earth through Gunatitanand Swami and his spiritual successors, he concluded his presence here on the 1st of June, 1830. He had stayed on earth for 49 years. The earthly connection between God and his devotee was soon to end. But their divine association will continue forever. His cremation place is marked today by a temple. Gunatitanand Swami was walking in the fields a few days after Bhagwan Swaminarayan's cremation. He was constantly thinking of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. Even looking at the grass reminded him, just as water gives life to grass, Bhagwan Swaminarayan was my life. But he is no more. Such thoughts made him faint. Bhagwan Swaminarayan appeared to him. Swami, where would I go? I'm always with you. In this way, Bhagwan Swaminarayan reminded his devotees that though they could no longer see him, he lived on. And his presence would now remain forever through the Guru. Bhagwan Swaminarayan is always present through his spiritual successors. Akshar Brahma Gunatitanand Swami, Brahma Swarup Pragji Bhakt Shri Bhagatji Maharaj, Brahma Swarup Yagna Purush Das Swami Shri Shastri Ji Maharaj, Brahma Swarup Jnana Jeevan Das Ji Swami Shri Yogi Ji Maharaj, Brahma Swarup Shastri Narayan Swarup Das, His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Bhagwan Swaminarayan is always present through Param Pujya Mahant Swami Maharaj. This was a brief life history on Bhagwan Swaminarayan. With humble prayers to him for the good of all and for his life and work to provide inspiration and guidance for everyone. Jai Swaminarayan.